Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Thanks for joining us at 5 News for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Tiffany Lee. But before we get you caught up on what's going on around the area, we're checking in with 5 News meteorologist Zach Scott. Zach, it's looking like things are going to get pretty cold this weekend.
Yeah, that's right, Tiffany. The cold air has been streaming in as we've been going through our Friday. We're going to continue to get this cold air to settle in. It'll stick around through the weekend. And then we'll get a reinforcing shot of some colder air coming in from the north, and that'll keep us chilly through the majority of next week. Temperatures for your Friday only topping out in the 40s for northwest Arkansas, some low 50s and upper 40s for the River Valley. The morning showers moving out. We're looking for dry conditions for the late morning, early afternoon hours, and then late afternoon, evening. That's when we start to watch some more precipitation streaming in from Oklahoma, and with chilly temperatures in place, we're not going to be freezing at the surface. We're going to be looking for temperatures to stay above freezing this evening, but it'll be cold enough, not very far, just above our heads. You don't have to go that high up that you'll get to where the air column's below freezing. We're going to get some snow to develop up there, and it's going to try to mix in with some rainfall for us. Again, by late evening, we're seeing that chance for some showers and a chance for some snow to mix in. Let's look at future track radar. Again, we're watching late afternoon, evening, some moisture coming out of Oklahoma, moving in. Certainly areas south of Fayetteville, they'll get into the River Valley, I-40 south. This is where there will be better moisture, better lift. So, again, the best chance for a chilly shower altogether will be across our southern half. But as we continue to go a little later on in the evening, some colder air coming in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere will help trying to transition to some snow. And we'll have to watch a few of these bands, maybe enough snow mixing in there, heavy at times where maybe it could get a little dusting, especially in those higher elevations and on some grassy surfaces and some cars. We'll watch it for you. Not everyone's going to see the flurries. Not everyone's going to see the rain-snow mix. Certainly areas the further north you go, the better chance the air is just a little too dry. But we'll watch it for you. We could see some of that winter precipitation early this year mixing in this evening. We'll clear out as we go through the evening hours, and we'll be clear as we get into Saturday morning. Saturday morning is going to be chilly. This is the wind chill forecast as we get into Saturday morning. We'll see temperatures dropping into the 20s, feeling like the teens north, 30s feeling like the 20s going into Saturday morning across the River Valley. Heading to Fayetteville, dress for the cold weather as it's going to be pretty chilly, uncomfortable through the day, plenty of sunshine, highs in the lower 40s, a northwest wind 5 to 15, gusting around 20 miles per hour. At least we'll be dry, but we're going to be cold. Again, we've got some of that colder air coming in from Canada today. We get a reinforcing shot of some colder air as we get into early next week. Perfect timing as another storm system is going to be moving in as that colder air is sinking in, and we could be talking about another chance for some wintry precipitation, a little wintry mix. Again, late next Monday into Monday night, Tuesday morning. We're going to have to watch it several days out. The track of the system will mean everything. How much moisture is there? Where's the cold air? We'll watch it. We'll break it down. At the very least, looks like our next chance for some wet weather coming in will be Monday night. Tiffany.
All right, thanks so much, Zach. Now let's get to the latest news. New charges have been filed against Amber Waterman in Benton County, and the prosecuting attorney says that he's going for the death penalty. Waterman is accused in the luring, kidnapping, and killing of Ashley Bush and her unborn baby. After consulting with the family of Ashley Bush, the Benton County prosecutor has filed 2 capital murder charges and 1 kidnapping charge against Waterman. 5 News reporter Catherine Gilker has a look at these new charges and what comes next in this case.
The capital murder and kidnapping charges filed against Amber Waterman Thursday are in addition to a federal charge she already faces. Benton County Prosecutor Nathan Smith says, quote, "While multiple jurisdictions could competently prosecute this case, I decided to go forward after meeting with the family. They supported the decision to seek the death penalty, which is currently easier to do at a state level, and asked me to prosecute the case in Benton County so that they would not be burdened with out-of-state travel. I informed our federal partners of this decision and offered to be helpful in any federal prosecutions however I can." Smith says he has not yet filed charges against Amber's husband, Jamie Waterman, because evidence has not revealed that he participated in a crime in Arkansas. However, Jamie faces a federal charge of being accessory after the fact to kidnapping resulting in death. He appeared in a Springfield courtroom Thursday, the same courtroom his wife Amber appeared in one day before. The judge ruled both will remain in the Greene County Jail without bond. The next step for the federal case is for a grand jury to convene and either decide to indict the couple or not. Grand jury proceedings are confidential, so we won't know when the cases will be presented to a grand jury for indictment. We spoke to the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Arkansas earlier this week. Clay Folk says by law, an individual charged with a criminal complaint like the Watermans have to be indicted within 30 days if a grand jury is already sitting, or 60 days if no grand jury is in session during the first month after a criminal complaint is filed.
A criminal complaint really is for the purpose of getting someone into custody. It's for the purpose of protecting the community and making sure that their dangerous conduct doesn't continue to endanger other members of the community. So with regard to what the final charges are, that'll really be up to a grand jury at some point in the future.
The U.S. Attorney's Office tells us once an indictment is returned from a grand jury, then a preliminary trial date will be set shortly after. As for the case in Benton County, Amber Waterman will appear in front of a judge on November 21st. You can also view a full timeline of what we've learned from investigators on our website, and that's 5newsonline.com. And a federal judge is striking down the president's plan to provide student loan borrowers with as much as $20,000 in forgiveness. The judge ruled the plan was unconstitutional, but the legal battle over the plan is likely far from over. The White House is expected to appeal the ruling, and the plan is also facing more legal challenges, including one lawsuit filed by Arkansas's Attorney General. And we're learning votes will be recounted in the Highville mayor's race. We told you that Chris Holland was the winner of the race, but only 2 votes separate him and Jeremy Rogers. The recount of those votes will take place on Monday morning at the Election Commission's 8 o'clock meeting. And of course, you can view full results from all of the local races by visiting our website, which is 5newsonline.com. And now let's get you caught up on some of those stories that you might have missed from earlier in the week. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is making history as she will become Arkansas's first female governor. This will also mark the first time in U.S. history that a father and daughter were governor. Her father, Mike Huckabee, was Arkansas's 44th governor, serving from 1996 through 2007. After Arkansas voters rejected a plan to legalize recreational marijuana, there are some questions about what supporters will do next. Despite that setback, there are some groups that are already looking ahead to 2024.
I think there were a lot of people in Arkansas that said they were for recreational marijuana, but not for issue 4.
Jerry Cox with the Family Council Action Committee is glad to see Arkansans voted against legalizing issue 4. He and marijuana advocate Melissa Foltz see eye to eye.
I mean, there were so many things wrong with it. It would take quite a while to list all of them.
Moving forward, though, Foltz says they'll be parting ways.
Under no false illusions, he will be on the other side of the fence this time, and we'll have to battle him, but I think they know that recreational is coming.
Meanwhile, Cox hopes marijuana doesn't appear on the ballot again and believes it won't. The reason? Funding.
Who's going to put up that kind of money next time around to try to pass a similar measure, knowing that they may fail?
But Foltz is already working on something for 2024.
We've been working on an amendment that would be fair and equitable, that will offer competition in the state. We'll fix the medical program, we'll have an expungement, we'll allow for some home grow.
And she believes it won't be difficult to get marijuana on the ballot again, especially since issue 2 didn't pass.
It's always been the majority rules, and that's what it should be. Issue 2 would have ruined, would have destroyed that.
And big changes are coming soon as voters approve Sunday alcohol sales in 2 cities. Liquor stores and other retailers are now approved to sell in Bentonville and Rogers on Sundays. 5 News reporter Jose Carranza takes a closer look.
Imagine it's Super Bowl Sunday and your friends want to crack open a few beers, but you're out of booze. For many in Northwest Arkansas, that meant jumping in their car and driving 15 to 20 minutes to other cities that allowed Sunday alcohol sales. But now, voters have made that issue less of a reality.
We've seen these sales tax dollars going outside our community.
On Election Day, voters in Benton County approved Sunday alcohol sales in both Rogers and Bentonville.
We basically supported the issue from the beginning. We feel like it provides more choices for our consumers.
Frank Jameson is the general manager of Spiritu Wines and Liquors. He says this now allows locals to buy from their neighborhood store any day of the week.
I don't have to travel, 15 miles down the road to Springdale or go up to Missouri or out to Avoca. I can actually go, something that's real quick, close, where I already know.
Keeping more money and tax revenue in the community.
And then on top of that, it keeps all the sales and everything local.
They're potentially filling up with gas, they're having lunch, they're shopping, and they're, just beyond what they're going to purchase.
For Frank, this extra day could mean a 10 to 15% increase in revenue, and not only bringing more sales, but also jobs.
Whether it's new supervisors or new cashiers and stockers to come in and be able to work on an extra day of the week. It's great, because then we're hiring more people.
And with cooler weather comes cold and flu season. The Department of Health says that flu cases are already on the rise in Arkansas and much earlier than usual. 5 News reporter Rachel Williams spoke with the ADH and takes a closer look at its latest flu report.
The overall death toll for the flu in Arkansas has more than doubled in just the past week, from 4 to 9. Dr. Joel Tomelson with the ADH says he can't pinpoint the exact reasons behind the recent spike, but the virus has started to spread a bit earlier this year. Dr. Tomelson says during flu season, cases typically start rising around December and peak in January or February, but says this year is different.
2 years ago was basically didn't have one. Last year was a very mild flu season because lots of precautions were being taken to avoid respiratory viruses like COVID.
In the latest ADH flu report released Wednesday, it was found the state still has very high flu activity. Dr. Tomelson says if you are congested, have a mild sore throat, or a runny nose, start taking precautions early on.
This would be a good time when you're out in public or in crowded places indoors. Wear your mask.
ADH says 60% of reported cases are in children.
It amplifies spread by going to school because kids are efficient spreaders, specifically of the influenza virus, and they're all in class together, etc. For that spread that's happening in schools, being on a break might actually help.
According to the CDC, ages 6 months and older are eligible for an annual flu vaccine. In the flu report, 3 nursing homes across the natural state have reported outbreaks this season.
Remember, the difficulty there is it's our smallest ones and our very elderly who are most likely to suffer severe cases of the flu that put them in the hospital or cause death.
And the vast majority of those year to year, regardless of the strain that tends to hit us, tends to be our older patients, especially those that tend to have comorbidities, diabetes, COPD, dealing with active cancer of some kind.
Dr. Upton Siddons with Baptist Health says he has patients who are worried about the flu vaccine because of their allergy to eggs.
You should be okay getting the standard flu shot. And nowadays, because of increases in technology, there are a small portion of flu shots which are set aside for people that do have those severe egg allergies.
The ADH says since October 2nd, more than 5,000 positive flu cases were reported by healthcare providers, but say that number is expected to be much higher. You can read the ADH weekly flu report on our website at 5newsonline.com.
Now let's all think back to when we were little kids. We were always asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? Maybe you wanted to be a doctor, a mailman, a pilot, or even a superhero. Well, for one little girl, her dream was to be Miss Arkansas.
Your Miss Arkansas 2022, Ebony Mitchell.
It's true. They say one moment can change the course of your life forever. But wait, hold up. This isn't the moment. Let's backtrack a little. This is actually the moment that changed Ebony Mitchell's life. The day Eudora Mosby became Miss Arkansas 2005, the second black Miss Arkansas. But what Eudora didn't know when winning the crown was that a normal school visit just a few months down the road would greatly inspire one little girl. Ebony Mitchell, your Miss Arkansas 2022 from Harrison.
So when I saw her, I really felt like I had been seen for the first time. I went to Eagle Heights. It was my brother and my sister. I'm the youngest of 3. So we were the only children of color in our entire school district at the time. And then I remember sitting in class and Eudora Mosby comes in.
An interaction 9-year-old Ebony will never forget because for the first time, she saw a woman in a position of leadership who looked like her.
She made me feel like I was valued and like I was capable of doing more than just being Ebony and Harrison, and that I could make an impact on the entire state of Arkansas or maybe the world one day. After that moment, I knew maybe this is where I'm supposed to be, is Miss Arkansas or somewhere in the organization.
So after a year of admiring an autograph card from Miss Arkansas 2005 hanging on her wall, she decided to take the stage herself, winning her first title and making her first trip to Miss Arkansas as a Diamond State Princess at the age of 10.
Being on that stage was just, honestly, it was life-changing for me. And it's the majority of the reason why I'm sitting here now and why I kept going on that path.
But it wasn't an easy path to take. She competed quite a few years.
It really was just, a whole lifetime almost of years of preparation.
Not winning the title until her 5th try. And while nothing will ever beat the feeling of achieving a lifelong dream, a text the day after came pretty close.
Hey Ebony, this is Eudora Mosby. I know I haven't seen you in a long time, but I would love to catch up with you and just get lunch or something.
Giving Ebony the chance to thank the woman who changed her life 16 years ago.
She was crying, I was crying. It was a moment that I think had just been leading up for so many years, and then it finally happened that we now have this incredibly special sisterhood of being Miss Arkansas.
An afternoon of grabbing lunch that reminded Ebony of her purpose as Miss Arkansas.
At any given moment, I could be meeting someone who is just like me when I was 10 years old.
Which she does at multiple school visits a week, getting to talk with little girls just like her, sitting in a Harrison Elementary classroom.
She has so many schedules, so she fit me in with everything else, which is really kind of her. I really want to look up to Miss Ebony and be just like her, like how she's always kind to everybody, includes everybody.
Reminding every student she meets that no matter where you came from or what you look like, you are capable.
Anything is possible if you just keep trying and keep persevering and keep practicing at whatever it is that you're dreaming of, because it's possible.
Ebony has served as Miss Arkansas for about 4 months now. And in the next few weeks, she'll be heading to Miss America to represent Arkansas as the 4th ever Black Miss Arkansas.
I think 10-year-old Ebony would be very proud of where I ended up today.
Thank you for watching the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Tiffany Lee. Have a great weekend.